everybody. I'm just going to wait for some people to join. My name is Sonia, and I'm your International United Miss North Carolina preteen. Welcome to the 13th episode of my live series, I.U.M, which stands for Inspire, Unite, Motivate, through which I aim to inspire you to create positive change in society, unite all of the change makers in the world, and motivate everyone of all ages to make a difference in society and in their communities. So I'm super excited to be on here today. I see more people joining. Hello, hello. I see that our special guest has joined. Oh. Hi!
Hey!
I'm super excited to have you on here today. How's your day been?
It's been great. You know, a lot of pageant prep. I went to work this morning, but I'm super excited to be here talking with you now.
Yeah, I'm super excited to chat about all things service today. So for some of the audience members who might not know you, do you want to just start off by introducing yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Ansley Lyons. I'm the 2022 Royal International Miss North Dakota Teen. My platform is called No Longer Hungry, where I focus on feeding the hungry in the country and the world and just making an impact so that people know that food insecurity is a big issue and can happen anywhere.
That's awesome. So what inspired you to start that?
So from a very young age, my parents have pushed me to volunteer, and one of the places I volunteered at was a local food pantry, and at the time I was too young to handle the food and do all that, so I was actually decorating brown paper bags, which for like a 6-year-old was pretty fun. So I started to get involved with them a lot, and I donated and dropped off the food to the families' houses, and I will never forget opening a door and seeing a classmate on the other side of the door receiving the food. So this kind of like elevated my interest for helping with food insecurity. I found a organization local to me called Meals by Grace that has definitely elevated and pushed me further to help make a difference with food insecurity.
I actually started my mission and my platform with brown paper bags, so I think it's so funny you say that, and it's really a great way to start, especially when you're passionate about this cause. It is so fun because you get to decorate these bags, you get to express your creative side, but at the same time, you're helping people in need, and I think it's so incredible that you get to do that, so I love that. But you also said that you started off like that, but you grew your platform eventually. You partnered with organizations and everything. So do you have any tips for people who might want to grow their platform, but they're not sure how?
The biggest tip that I can find, or I can say, is find an organization that you vibe with and that you like the people. Because once you do that, the sky's the limit. I started working with Meals by Grace. I found my people, and they have helped me be able to reach more people and given me ideas of how I can take the platform, not just from a state level, but to a country level, and different ideas of how to get other people involved. So my biggest thing is finding people that you vibe with to make that difference.
Unity is so important, especially when you want to make a big difference in the community. And that's part of what this series is about, uniting all of the change makers who have the same views, the same mission, the same values, so that we can all help each other create an even bigger difference. And I saw that you have a Food Heroes program through which you have been able to make that bigger impact, to reach out and unite with people with the same goal as you. So do you want to tell me a little bit about that and what started it and stuff like that?
What started the Food Heroes initiative was I was making a huge difference in my community and the people that live right next door to me, but I wanted to broaden the spectrum and take it internationally. So what I did was I created this program called Food Heroes, and people could request a package, and they get one of these cards in the mail that I designed with the steps of how to become a food hero, which is really get the things in the mail, purchase 5 cans of pasta sauce or something that's self-stable, place a No Longer Hungry sticker on, which they get 5 of these in the mail, and then drop it off at a local food pantry, a blessing box, a little food pantry, anywhere that benefits people who need food. And then, of course, take a picture and post it on social media and tag me in it so that I can share that so people can see who is making a difference.
I love that. That's an incredible program. And it's really such a fun way, not only to make a bigger difference, but to reach out and network with people. Networking is super important, not
Right.
community service wise, but being in pageants and in general. It's so important to be able to network with people who share the same goals as you. So I absolutely love that. And you mentioned sharing stuff on social media. So how have you been able to use social media to promote your platform? And do you have any tips for social media for people who might want to promote theirs the same way you do yours?
So for me, I did a lot of graphic design work in high school. So I have definitely carried that over into my social media. If you go to my platform page, which is no longer hungry.org, which is tagged in the bio of my title holder page, everything is branded very specifically so that people can see it on their feed and say, oh, that's a no longer hungry post. So definitely the branding is something that I have truly focused on to outreach and use social media. As I said, like, I designed this. I have so many things on that page that I have used to further my social media reach.
Yes, while it is so important to stay true to your values, your core, why you started, it's equally important to use tools like social media to get your message across. It's really important that other people can see what you're doing so that they can support you. Because I mentioned this in a couple of my lives, but I had not talked about my mission with anyone besides my family, really. And when I started talking about it, I got more and more people interested through word of mouth, and they were so eager to support me. So it's really important to be comfortable talking about what you're doing so that other people can support you. So are there any other causes you support other than food insecurity?
I have done a lot with my local school systems, helping in the classrooms and helping administrators get ready for the beginning of the year. I also am a 3-time Susan G. Komen Youth Corps member. So I've helped raise over $15,000 for breast cancer research. That's kind of what got me into the pageants, was the breast cancer research. And then I kind of grew a love for the food insecurity, so I switched to that. But with breast cancer awareness, like I said, I'm a 3-time Komen member, which is a lot of fun. It's the most tiring 3 days of the year, but it's a lot of fun because you get to support walkers and be with hundreds of people who are trying to make a difference and trying to find a cure for breast cancer.
I've always been interested in trying out for choir, but I've never really found it hard to do it. I'm not much of a singer. I'm more of a dancer, but being part of choir sounds like a lot of fun. And I think in the sense of dance and singing being related, there's a sense of community that you get to build in whatever you're involved in, any extracurricular really. And it's really incredible that you have like a school, and then you've got the community you build at your extracurriculars like dance or choir. So it's really fun how when you talk to people and everything, they can all support you, and the community is so awesome. So I saw that you have an acronym DRIVE. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So DRIVE stands for Donate, Resource, Inspire, Volunteer, and Educate. So that is my 5-step plan of how to make a difference with food insecurity. So obviously the D stands for donate, giving those items to the food pantry so that they can distribute them to families who are in need. I have ran about 4 food drives for the past, or 4 annual food drives for the past 3 years. And I've been able to collect over 2,500 food items, sorry.
Wow.
It includes mac and cheese and cereal and pasta sauce. So that's what the D in donate stands for. The R is resource, giving people the ability and the organizations that they can volunteer with if they don't have a local food pantry. I've highlighted organizations like Feeding America, No Kid Hungry, Canada Feed is one, and there's a couple other international ones because it is very important for wherever you are to be able to make a difference. Inspire is all my Food Hero program. So I'm inspiring those people to go out and become food heroes and make a difference. Volunteer is obviously going to the food pantries, donating your time to make a difference. I think donate and volunteer go hand in hand, but with donate, you're just dropping it off. With volunteering, you're going to spend a couple hours a week helping to sort the food, pass out the food, whatever that food pantry's organizational system is, helping with that. And then educate is giving the facts out, because a lot of people don't think that food insecurity can happen in their own backyard. I'm very fortunate to live in one of the most affluent counties in the state of Georgia, but at the same time, we can go from both spectrums. So I think it's very important for people to realize that there is 1 in 6 children that face food insecurity, no matter where you go. So
I love that message. And you mentioned you did so many food drives. First off, that's incredible. And second off, what has been your favorite one?
I started my food drive program with cereal, and I specifically do cereal in September for 2 reasons. One, September is my birthday month. So for every year for the past 3 years, I've asked for cereal from my friends and my family for my birthday, which is incredible because I can donate hundreds of boxes instead of getting stuff that I would want, but I don't need. So I can help people in need. The other thing is September is Food Insecurity Month. So it's kind of just a 2-in-1. That's probably one of my favorite ones. It's also the most interesting because cereal boxes are very big.
They
and trying
are.
to transport like 200 boxes of cereal can get very interesting.
Yes. So you've been able to connect with so many organizations like we already talked with who share the same goal, and unity is so important, but it can be sometimes hard to reach out to those organizations, even find organizations with the same goal. So do you have any tips for people who are wanting to reach out to other organizations with their same goal, wanting to unite with them, but they're not sure how to find them or how to talk to them?
Finding them is going to be depending on where you live. Like with Meals by Grace, it is very advertised in my county that they are there. So it's not too difficult to find them. I think if you live in a less populated place, it might be a little harder. I don't know exactly the right way to say go find those organizations because I've never really had to search, if that makes sense. For talking with them, I think over the internet, social media, email, just different things like that is going to be your best way to get that conversation started. The worst they can say is no. And then you can just see if you can find someone else. So I definitely think just go for it and hope for the best. And if they say no, continue to find it. Don't continue to find an organization and don't stop until you find one.
I love that advice. And it is sometimes, it does really depend where you live because like in my area, like you said, it's not very hard to find places.
Right.
All I had to do honestly was Google search, look around, ask around. Community members are always very helpful when they learn that you're wanting to make a difference. Who wouldn't be? So I would say ask around and use Google because that's what I did. But
right.
Yeah, so you are a title holder and you have been in pageantry. So how has being in pageantry helped you gain the skills needed to market your platform or take it to the next level?
Community service is something I did before I started in pageants. You know, I didn't start competing until I was about 13. I'm 18 now. So the pageants came second. What pageants have given me is that elevated platform to make a difference. I would have never been able to collect over 2,500 food items if I didn't have the pageant community. I have food heroes in all 50 states and 7 countries, which, again, I would have never been able to do with pageants, especially without I.U.M. I am very lucky to have the sisters from across the country who are willing to help me make a difference, and I'm willing to help them make a difference.
Sisters by Sash are always so helpful. Again, like you mentioned with I.U.M, I'm so happy to have I.U.M by my side because all the directors, the sisterhood, even just when you're a delegate, they're so supporting in what you're doing. And I think this holds true for a lot of pageant systems out there, that they're very supportive in everything you do. And I know for me, community service is such a vital part of pageants. And for me, I actually started competing close to when you started, when I was around 11, 12 years old. And being in pageants has really given me that skills that community needed to take my platform to the next level. And it has just been an incredible journey. So a lot of the times people want to serve, and sometimes they can get lucky with opportunities in their area. But sometimes either like me, they don't know about service, or they're just not really sure where to start. So do you have any tips for youth to start serving their communities and getting involved in community service?
I think it kind of goes with everything. You just got to put your foot out there and find places that will let you volunteer. I don't think it's the most difficult thing to do to get involved once you start, but that first foot into an organization, if you've never done it, you don't know anyone there, can be a little challenging. But like I said earlier, go for it. What's the worst that they can tell you is no. And if they tell you no, just keep trying different organizations. More than likely, they're not going to turn the help away. But if they do, for some reason, just find another one until you find your people.
Yeah, a lot of the times you just have to find the courage within yourselves to really go into it. A lot of the times people can be scared that, oh, I'm entering this, but I'm not sure if it will take off. I'm not sure if I'll find these people. And that doubt holds people away, draws people away so many of the times. But it's really important to know that the worst that can happen, like you said, is they'll say no, and that's okay. You just have to keep going. You have to keep trying. And if you're really passionate about something, you should never give up on what you're trying to do. So what has been your favorite memory while serving the community?
I would say last year I did Easter baskets for Meals by Grace. And Meals by Grace was so thankful for the work that my mom and I had done with a lot of other pageant girls that they actually got me a feature in my local newspaper. It was a newspaper magazine, which was really cool. It was a 3-page spread about my mom and I's work with community service and with the organization. Yes, it's my platform and it's my title, but my mom does play a huge part in helping me make the difference that I have done and supporting me for whatever crazy idea I have.
Family support is really so important when you're trying to do something big. And I'm also very thankful for my family support in everything I do, not just serving the community. And it's funny that you mentioned being featured in the newspaper, because when I was crowned the North Carolina preteen for I.U.M, I was actually featured in a couple of newspapers. And it was so funny because some of the girls I had never even talked to at my school started recognizing me, and I got to talk to them.
Right.
Serving my community and how important it is. And they were so interested in hearing about it. And it just gave me that outreach that I needed, and it was incredible. So we were talking about family support. So how has your family been able to support you other than just being there for you through doing community service, pageants, and in general?
So with community service, this community service side of it, my mom does 90% of it with me. And it's really funny. When I first started going to Meals by Grace and getting really involved, she would kind of have to push me to get out of bed because, I'm 13. I'm going to want to sleep. The roles have totally flipped now, and I'm the one pushing her out of bed every Sunday morning to come volunteer with me at Meals by Grace. My dad and my brother aren't as hands-on per se. They don't get up with me at 6 o'clock in the morning and go volunteer, but they're definitely supportive around my hopes and my dreams and my goals and helping me be the best person that I can be to get to that point.
I love that. And my mom also does a lot of my volunteering with me. Like, for example, I was able to volunteer at the Durham Rescue Mission. And like you mentioned, sorting the pantry, that was one of the things that I was able to help out with. And my mom was there side by side, and we were working together. And it's just so much fun rather than just doing it yourself, doing it beside someone you love. And it is so fun. Like, even during the pandemic when we were doing the brown paper bags, my mom was there. She was giving me ideas and suggestions, and the support is so, so valuable to me. So how has community service made a positive impact in your life?
So I think this can go two ways. It can go just community service in general. With the way my parents raised me, like I've mentioned before, community service has been part of my life since I was 3, literally. So it's just continued. I make a lot of friends. I meet a lot of people. I get to work with every single age with the community service. I think, especially with food insecurity, it's very important to be able to have something that you can do with someone who's 4 and someone who's 104. So that wide range of people has taught me how to handle and interact with them, which I think is amazing with community service. I also think that it has helped me in the fact of getting ready for the real world. Like I've said, I've done it for a young age. I was actually I was the youngest person to be offered a team lead at Meals by Grace which is incredible. So it's helping me get ready for that real world and be able to handle many groups of people, like I've said, all different ages, no matter what's going to be thrown on me, because I never know what's happening that day or what's going to come up until that it does. So I definitely, community service has helped me grow as a person for after I'm done with the pageants and I'm in college and items like that.
You can learn so much through serving your community. A couple weekends ago, I was able to go to a place called Stamarga and through Activate Good. And I was there and we made motivational message cards, but we also had I think it was the executive director, and she was 18, just like you, of the General Services Foundation. And it was a nonprofit helping the community. And she was so inspirational. And we were kind of a tough bunch because we were not really talking, we were not really there, but she was so sweet and she was able to talk to us about passion projects, serving the community, and it was so fun and it was so inspirational. So I love that through community service you're also able to inspire a lot of people. You're able to inspire them through your work and your actions, and it's awesome. So are you in school right now?
Not currently. I just graduated from high school at the end of May, and I'm starting college at the end of August. So it's like this weird in between. I don't know what to call me, but yeah.
So how was your high school able to support you in No Longer Hungry, serving your community?
So I was very fortunate to go to the STEM school of my county. So we were a very tight-knit class and community and teachers and staff, and it was amazing because after like my article was posted and published with my mom, teachers started to recognize that what I was doing was a much bigger impact than they thought, because they had heard me say, oh, I do this and that, but they had never realized what I was actually doing. So they were very supportive of whatever I wanted to do with the community service, but also with the pageant side of it. If I had to miss a day of school, they were very supportive and getting me what we were doing so that I wouldn't fall behind with that, but I was still doing what I loved.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I remember, I think I was in the 6th grade and I was in Spanish class for like the first time. It was the first time I was taking Spanish and I was so super excited. And I had a national pageant coming up. It was actually, I think, my very first live pageant. So I was super excited and I actually had to miss like 1 or 2 days of school for that, but my teachers were so incredibly supportive, especially my Spanish teacher, and they were able to get me whatever I needed so that I wouldn't fall behind. So not just serving your community in general, but teachers can be so supportive in whatever you do, and they are so inspirational and they're so motivational. And she actually remembered it and she followed up on it and she asked me how it had gone, and it meant so much to me, her support.
Right.
So if people want to get involved in your initiative or help out, how can they do so?
They can message me on my title holder page, which is rim_North Dakota_teen. Message me, just say you want to get involved. I can send you a pack of Food Hero stickers. I can help you find places that are local to you. You can also go to my platform page, which I've mentioned before, which is No Longer Hungry.org. Same type of deal. They can message me there. I also have a website, so it's nolongerhungry.org. Under the Food Heroes, I believe it's the Food Heroes tab or the Get Involved, I have a map that can show you different places to get involved all over the world. So just reach out if you need help. Next time I'm running a food drive, if you want to make a difference, there are ways that you can help in my posts and my comments about that. So just don't hesitate to reach out and ask, and will be willing to help anyone get involved with food insecurity.
I love that. And I'll make sure to link down your profile in the live replay. So if you're watching this live, be sure to check my profile because I'll put it there. And if you're watching the live replay, just read the caption and it'll be right there. So all the work you're doing is super inspirational. And I know that you're leaving for internationals, the I.U.M internationals, in a couple of days now. So I just wanted to wish you good luck. I hope you do really well. And I'm excited to see what goes on.
Thank you so much, and good luck to you, because I know we're leaving about the same day, I think. I know I'm leaving on Friday. I think you're close. We're competing at the same time, so good luck.
I'm leaving on Saturday, so.
Okay, so super close. I'll be watching your social medias to check up and see how you're doing also.
Same here. I'll be checking your social media. And to anybody who's watching, who's going to either RIM or I.U.M, good luck. I hope you do well. And thank you so much for being on here today. I had so much fun talking to you, and you were such an inspiration and a motivation to not just me, but everybody. So thank you for being on here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was so much fun chatting.
It was a lot of fun, and it was an honor having you on here today. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. And to everybody watching, I hope you have a great rest of your day as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Make sure to stay tuned on my social media because I will be going to internationals, obviously, and I'll be posting very soon who I'll have here on next after international. So just stay tuned. Bye, everybody, and have a wonderful and blessed day.